Hey guys, it's Mike and Mike in the afternoon. This is, I guess, our new show. I have no idea how long we're going to do this for, if this is even going to be a show in itself. But Mike and I figured we will jump on LinkedIn Live, Facebook, and YouTube and talk about what we saw at Connect Marketplace this week. I'm Mike Ferreira. This is Mike Punchios. We're both based out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. In today's episode, again, we're going to be talking about Connect Marketplace. If you have any questions about the event or want us to kind of answer any questions, please go ahead and let us know. Mike, I kind of want to just start off with you, brother, and hear what your overall mindset was just going into the event, because I think you and I both had no idea what to expect. We've never attended an event in the pandemic. Just walk us through, brother, what your overall thoughts were.
Yeah, well, first to start off, I was super excited to get back to a live event. Connect did a really good job with a lot of the communication. I have to give a shout out to the Orlando World Marriott as well. The pre-trip material from Connect, worked great in conjunction with the Orlando Marriott. Kind of putting your mind at ease. If you didn't feel comfortable checking in at the hotel at the front desk, they made it easy for you on your phone. The airline, I flew American Airlines. They did a great keeping everyone at ease. Everyone on the plane wore a mask, and the flight attendants did everything they could to make everyone feel comfortable. My flight was a little bit delayed getting in, so I actually did miss session. So I'll let you talk a little bit about that. As far as just overall, I was super excited leading the event and all the way through the events. Felt completely safe, and I was truly excited. I was excited to be there and be part of this. 1,100 attendees. This is the biggest since COVID hit. And I think Connect, the Orlando World Marketplace or Orlando World Center, did such a phenomenal job keeping everyone safe and keeping everyone's mind at ease.
Yeah, I was overall impressed just with the entire conference, to be honest with you. My mindset going into the event was, again, we've never been in a pandemic and actually attended a conference. So I didn't know what to expect. I kind of went about the whole process of packing and not even thinking about anything because, again, we've never been to a conference like this. So travel wise, I think, N95 mask and wiping everything down, kind of like what everyone has always said, worked wonderful. I think when we all arrived there, we weren't sure of how everyone was going to react to flying. And it wasn't even a topic because everyone kind of understands now, I guess, statistically, that flying is almost honestly, from what I've read, impossible to contract. I mean, it's not entirely possible, but flying and everyone's overall experience from just talking to everyone there, they loved it. They had no problems at all. A little bit of jitters in the beginning, but no one had any problem. Hacking wise and everything seemed normal. It felt like we were attending a just like pre-pandemic. I love that Connect sent us the N95 masks, the sanitizer, agendas, even our badges. I thought that was pretty cool as well. And all of our badges had our picture on it. But arriving at the Orlando World Marriott Center, I haven't been there in a couple of years, and they just went through a fully renovated guest room and meeting space transition. So the run of house rooms were fantastic. I mean, they got rid of the carpet, USBs everywhere, clean lines. It was really, really amazing. And then also in the meeting space as well, it was fully redone. Mike, do you want to walk us through kind of like just how the lobby looks so it's not just me talking?
Yeah, the lobby itself was great. And like I said, the Marriott really easy for people to check in before they got there if they chose not to go to the front desk. I chose to go to the front desk and wanted to check in physically to get that experience. You know, they had the plexiglass up. Um, all of the front desk attendants were wearing masks. So no, I felt completely comfortable checking in. A pretty quick process, and like you said, the rooms were great. So, and the everything is just clean, which makes all of us kind of put our mind at ease. I mean, even in the elevators, you think, oh my gosh, I gotta push a button with my finger. Well, right next to the buttons was a hand sanitizer station. So again, push the button, you know, put it on your hands, wipe down, you're good. And they even had the little mat on the floor by the hand sanitizer station because, you know, if it continues to drip a little bit slippery, but Marriott safety first. So I was really impressed for sure.
I like that the sanitation stations with the sanitizer actually had sense. So for everyone out there, they now make sanitizer that smells fantastic. So there was an apple flavor and then like a fall. I don't know if it was pumpkin spice or whatever it is, but it was truly fantastic smell and it was almost like addicting. So I think this is going to be the new trend that we're going to see at all future live events is this individual company was exhibiting. And I think we're going to, scented smell is going to be all around for hand sanitizer and Connected not a fantabulous, oh my gosh, a fabulous job with having sanitizer everywhere. It was literally anywhere I looked, it was there. And again, fantastic job. But the coolest thing was that you and I were always talking about is when you walk down to the meeting space every single day, you had to fill out a form digitally on your phone. And then you had to be cleared to go into the conference with a sticker. And then we got our temperature checked. I thought that was really great, right, brother?
Yeah, I loved it as well. You got the reminder text every morning. So they wanted to make sure that you did that before you enter into the main conference space. The logistics, the location was key. It was literally it was in a room right as you walked in. So, and they had guards, you know, stationed there looking for those stickers. So that's a great idea. It's super easy to get set up. You get that reminder text in the morning, fill out the pre-screening questions, then you get the thumbs up, go get and then you get your sticker. And it was a different color for every day so that you can, you know, they're having them all kind of lined up so they know that you've gotten your health screening every day. So love that aspect. One thing I just wanted to touch on quickly, Mike, as I know you posted this a couple months ago, was the bracelets. So Connect didn't have them, which was fine because we all had the health screening tests. But this is something for everyone watching to keep in mind for future events. There's a company out there that produces 3 different colors: red, yellow, green. It's like a stoplight. So if you're wearing red, it's, hey, you know what? I'm here to be safe. Keep your distance at all times, which is perfectly fine. If you're wearing yellow, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I'll do a fist bump, but that's it. If you're wearing green, then you're kind of open handshakes, or any other type of touching, limited touching, so to speak. But I think that's a great idea for companies to keep in for future events, because there was a little bit of awkwardness when you first met someone coming up to your table. Now the appointments were great as they had 8-foot tables kind of switched that way. So you were more than 6 feet. You were 8 feet apart, which was great. More than 6 foot socially distanced. But you know, coming to the table, you were kind of like, okay, well, do I fist bump? Do I shake? I don't know. And so there was a little bit of, because you don't know how the other person is going to. if they're going to do a fist bump or an air fist bump. So again, I highly suggest that for future events. The culprits, Mike, maybe you want to repost that after the call just so people can kind of see what company that was and who was doing it, because that is a great idea.
Last time I posted that had over 108,000 views, brother. So I don't want to do that again, man. My phone was blowing up like a firework. We're not doing that. So, anyways, no. But the bracelet thing is a great idea. I definitely could see that around in the future, just because, again, we were so unsure of how everyone were going to react. So, again, I can't agree with you more. Let's just walk through like every single day, Punch. I think this would be fun. So on the first day we arrived, we did our temperature checks. We checked into the lobby. We saw our guest rooms. And then let's talk about what we did on day one. We went and checked out all the beautiful resorts around the Orlando World Marriott Center, like the Gaylord, the new JW, and the Hilton Bonnet Creek with the Waldorf connection. So where do you want to start?
Yeah, you guys, I know you and the other members of the team had seen all those properties, all the posts on social media, which were great. I missed a couple of those initial sites because my flight was a little delayed. It happens. But yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about what you saw on those sites on the Monday, because I didn't make it until later that afternoon.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you wanted me to start with any specific hotel. I'm trying to keep you on the toes, brother. And here we go with my dogs. Sorry about this, guys. The dogs are going nuts. Standard. This is going to go back to face-to-face events. Anyways, I'm going to try to put in my headphones because this is typical. Why would this happen? Of course. All right. Sorry about that.
Always happens. Murphy's Law, don't you know?
Yeah, of course. My dogs are running wild downstairs and watch everyone signing off of our show right now. Great. Anyways, we started with the Gaylord. The Gaylord Palms is fantastic. They went through a large expansion. They have, I think it was like over 50,000 square feet of meeting space that they're putting on, and over 300 additional guest rooms. So that was amazing to see. If you've never been to a Gaylord, they can do really large programs. It's right around the Orlando World Center, about 20 minutes away from the airport. And for anybody out there, the new JW just opened in July, right next to Orlando World Marriott Center and the Gaylord as well. So we all went over there, checked it out. It has about 500 guest rooms. It's fantastic. It's real modern, real clean lines. I think they had over 21,000 square feet of meeting space. What was really cool is, I think if you were about, depending on what time in the season, but if you're anywhere from 300 to 400 on peak, you can have all the meeting space, and it's close to Disney World. It was so real. When we were there, we were so blown away. And then just down the street, you have the Hilton Bonnet Creek with the Waldorf extension right next door. That is fantastic as well. We book that property all the time because you have a Waldorf and Hilton connected, and you can have executives and high-end profile individuals stay at the Waldorf, and the meeting space connects. So with Hilton and the Waldorf, you can probably do about anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 on peak and take all their meeting space all on one level. It's fantastic. But after that, we went to the reception. So Mike, I'll let you kind of talk about the reception.
Yeah, the reception was great. I kind of caught that tail end. You know, they had all the different stations set up. So you had your White Claw station, and it was easy to get to. A lot of bottled drinks, made drinks that the bartenders were continuously setting up so that there was no standing in line. The lines were pretty short. So I kind of caught the tail end of that. So, Mike, what about the food at the reception?
Of course, I was on mute like a rookie. Oh my gosh. The food was fantastic. The coolest thing about the reception is there wasn't a lot of long lines, and that was the key question that was going to come up with the reception is, were there going to be lines of social distancing going to be in place? And there definitely was social distancing. Human nature, receptions, fluid movement, people walking around, sometimes they'll be bunched up, but they did a great job of making sure people followed the rules. And the coolest thing was they had these little ice bucket stations without lines where people could just go and grab drinks out of these ice buckets. And it looked great. It did not look like anything that you would have in a backyard. This looked specifically for events. So basically you could go grab a White Claw. A lot of the ladies loved it. And I like White Claw too. Black cherry is amazing. So just go ahead and they would grab it, pull it out, no lines. People were having fun, networking. This was the first option of the night. So people were just going crazy to be back. And again, this was meant to be outside, but they had to make the call because of inclement weather. It was raining like cats and dogs when they're on site visits. So they did what they had to do. They had in the foyer, a lot of meeting space, a lot of area, so people weren't bunching up. It was a great time. And then the next day we had education and then appointments. So you and I walked around the exhibit hall area and we were checking out all the new vendors. So I'll let you kind of take that over.
Yeah, some of those new vendors, that was awesome. One of the ones we stopped at, it was kind of like the health screening portion, but there's actually a vendor out there that has the ability to do rapid testing on site. It's phenomenal. So Mike, I know that you have all the information for that specific vendor, but for those groups that are, again, wanting to get back in water, you got it?
I can get it out to anybody that needs it.
Yeah. So you have all that. Yeah. So that was booth to stop by. We also stopped by, like you mentioned earlier, the hand sanitizer, the scented hand sanitizer, which is fantastic. That pumpkin spice one, it gives you the idea of fall. It's a really good scent. They also made masks and or t-shirts on site. I posted one a couple days ago. It was a mask. It was straight out of quarantine. So they can kind of get fun with it. They can do your logo, and they'll come on site and print those off right there for you. It took like, I want to say 20 seconds. So they could run through a lot of people and do a large quantity quickly, so that there aren't lines building up. And then the other one was the health screening. That was the one where you'd get the text every day. So that's another vendor that we see information on. Mike dropped off the call, but hopefully he comes back. But yeah, it was great to walk through there. They had a lot of social distancing with the educational sessions. So the chairs were 6 feet apart on the sessions, and then they had headphones, and then obviously wipe down headphones, sanitize after every use, alcohol distance. But that was a good way too for people to be socially distanced. Oh, you're back. Welcome back. So no,
internet's horrible.
Just tons of great vendors throughout the exhibit hall. We walked through the exhibit hall, and then we actually did a site. I'm going to touch on that, Mike, of the Reserve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which is Disney Swan and Dolphin new upscale hotel, over 300 rooms, more than 20,000 square feet of convention space. We were the first hard hat tour of the property, and it's going to be fantastic. They have the upper deck on that rooftop that just looks out over Epcot Center, and they are actually repositioning where the fireworks are so that you get like bird's eye straight on view of the fireworks in Epcot Center from the International Showcase. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I mean, that tower is going to be specifically for super high-end groups. And Swan Dolphin didn't have anything like that before. So they have their own meeting space, their own check-in area. You drop right into the meeting space and the suites. the pool. It was fantastic, man. And then we got a tour of the Swan Dolphin. Shout out to Paul Coulter, the whole executive sales team over there. They did a fantastic job. Our clients loved it, the whole tour of the Swan Dolphin. And they have their own beer, which Punch loved. So if you ever are looking in Orlando, definitely check out the Swan Dolphin. And then the following day, I'll let you kind of take it from there, Punchy.
What did you want me to touch on for the following day?
Just the overall like exhibit hall, anything that you kind of want to just go over as far as like maybe the education, because we haven't really talked about we no longer have breakouts at the Connect, so they kind of put them in the exhibit hall.
You dropped off just kind of aspect. They had the chairs really far apart and they were utilizing headphones, sanitizing, alcohol wipes, the headphones after each use. A lot of different topics. I mean, we were just running around a lot through the exhibit hall, trying to see all the vendors. So we kind of glanced up and popped in and out on certain topics. But I mean, Connect always does a great job trying to educate during the conferences, usually a portion of the show. And I mean, people get a lot out of it for sure.
Yeah, I just like that the breakouts were in the exhibit hall. It was so different, and it felt like you weren't secluded, and you could actually watch the breakouts even though you weren't planted in the seats. So there was like 50 people in this enormous room, and the booths were all around, but there was in corners where kind of where the breakouts were, and imagine the walls were gone, and they had a stage, people would present, headphones on, you could hear them all, but you could watch it too if you kind of stepped out of the booth and you kind of wanted to see what the speaker was talking about, but you didn't feel trapped within a room. And also social distance wise, you just feel safe because there was so much room to move and people just were enjoying it. But I thought the coolest thing was just the exhibit hall, seeing the new vendors that are out there, new COVID screenings. My internet's kind of shaky, so I don't know if you talked about the masks and printing on site, but I think that's going to be a huge service now for clients moving forward with all their events. We're going to see people printing, the face masks and everything everywhere. So sorry if I kind of mentioned that again, but my internet's jacked up. It's Friday. I don't know what's going on. But other than that, Punch,
almost Halloween.
I know, right? I was really impressed. I was really impressed with Orlando overall, to be honest with you. I know we live in Las Vegas, and we used to compete with Orlando all the time when we were on the hotel sales side. But I was really impressed with Orlando. The hospitality, the venues, the cuisine, everything in general, right?
Yeah, for sure. And one thing we didn't touch on as of yet, but we talked about the site that I had done a site of the Disney Springs B Resort on Wednesday morning, and I was like, wow, did not expect that. Super impressed. The staff there was amazing. Everyone was on board. I know if you follow our LinkedIn post, you've seen the chair. So if you go head down there, you'll have to get a picture of yourself in the chair. It's a fantastic chair.
The chair's so
specialty
cool.
made Italian leather. But no, shout out to the Disney B Resort. They did a fantastic job for the site. We had lunch within the Marriott Orlando World Center on Wednesday at one of the restaurants. The staff, again, was just happy to be back to work, super appreciative. They're just so attentive and just ready to take care of whatever you need.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone earlier today about that. You could see it in their eyes, man. They were so happy that we were there. And that really woke me up there. And again, I already understood that we need events to come back sooner than later. But when you look into someone's eyes and they're about to cry because they're so thankful that you're there for an event, that's a game changer. So I felt it from the front desk agents to the housekeepers to the people serving us, our food at that lunch. They were so thankful. So I really hope events start coming back sooner than later. And our clients are putting on events right now, and 2021 looks fantastic. But I think everyone should be safe and try to attend, if they feel comfortable with an event in the future, because they can see that, it is possible to put on live events right now and in the near future again.
Absolutely. Totally agree. And we all knew all eyes were on this event because people, they want to be educated on new things, new ideas, new ways of doing things. Um, I saw the coffee urns we were at one of the breakfasts, and they retrofitted the coffee urns so that you just you stick your cup under and then the coffee will come out,
Yeah.
rather than you trying to pull the lever. So it's touchless, it's contactless. So these are things that hotels are doing to help get us back to business. I always say baby steps back to business, but I think this was a big step. Like we were there, you, myself, three other members of the Meetings Made Easy team.
Mm-hmm.
We try to post what we've experienced, but if you feel the need to reach out individually, you want to ask us one-on-one, how was it? And honestly, I'm getting chills because I was like giddy. I mean, even though I was wearing a mask, comfortable, we're doing it safely. Just walking down there in the morning to the exhibit hall and to the appointments, I'm just like, man, and it felt so good.
It definitely did feel good. Feel good. I can't wish enough success to like MPIWEC in the next couple of weeks, because they have a large amount of people heading down to the Gaylord Texan and down there in the Dallas Grapevine area. So I think a lot of people are going to experience great things as well. The tips I have is just be open-minded, be safe, don't hug people, wear your masks, try to be as safe as you possibly can, and get your COVID tests. Temperature checks are great as well. And I think you'll be really impressed. And I think for the future, Punchy, you and I both agree, and maybe you can touch on this a little bit, is hybrid is definitely the future. I remember, like, what was it, 4 or 5 months ago, everyone was saying everyone's going to go virtual and that was going to be it. And I think everyone understands that's not going to be it. It's definitely going to be live in 2021 and hybrid definitely. But there are going to be companies that are going to have group traveling bans, so they won't be able to put on live events. So they are going to stick with the virtual, but hybrid is going to be where it's at, and face to face. We're human beings. You can definitely tell by just seeing everyone that was at this event that we needed this. Like Punch and I needed this. It was fantastic. But that's the future. We already see the RFPs coming in. We see where people are moving forward in the future. So we are really positive. And I don't know. That's how I feel, Punchy. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, the site that we had Wednesday morning with my client, I mean, this is 100 people. It's July 21. They're ready to go. That's doing a hybrid in January of 21. So they will have some attendance on site. Most will be virtual, but again, they're moving forward. So no, I think this meeting was so important to showcase that we can meet, we can meet safely. As long as everyone does their part, we can get through this.
Yeah, 100%. So I think for now that was a pretty good overview. I'm pretty sure Mike and I will probably do this in the near future. I don't know when. If there's topics or anything that you want us to cover, this has nothing to do with the company. It's just more Mike and I just chatting about what we're seeing and what things that we're doing here in Las Vegas. Him and I have known each other for 13 years. We've worked together for a long time. So this is a lot of fun for us. Just to update everybody on what we see out here in the beautiful city in Las Vegas and talk about what we do on the regular. So if you have any questions about hotels, site selection, contract negotiation, virtual meetings, scented hand sanitizer now, I think we can help you out with pretty much anything out there. Anything to add, Punch?
No, this was a lot of fun. Like you said, we're just here to help keep people informed because there are some there asking those questions. How was it? What happened? How did you do this? How did the food and beverage work? How did it work? And I know we covered a lot of that today, but there's still more questions out there, and we're open to answer anything that's on your mind, because we're all in this together. We got to get back to business.
And I'm putting in our emails. So if you have any questions, you can email us directly. So thank you so much, everybody. Maybe you'll see us next week or the week after. We don't know, but hey, we're here to help you out. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Connect. Great job. Tinsley, the event planner. You're famous now. Everybody, great job. See you soon. Have fun.